Hello friends, this is Jess from J Rose Alchemic Art, and we are back with another video today. In this one, I will be talking about some of the things that have been kind of preventing me from getting into my art as much lately, but also kind of coming back with a resurgence and feeling more inspired. So hopefully that also helps you to be inspired and maybe make some new things of your own. So we're going to be making a lot of new clay designs and hopefully drawing some new things, so we'll go ahead and get started. The very first thing that I started on is I wanted to get all of these little new pieces glazed. So these are going to be part of the spring collection that I'm bringing with this next shop update. But I obviously had already baked them, everything came out really well, but just hadn't had time to actually fully glaze it yet. So I was having a little bit of issues with the glaze, like first getting it open. And I think it's because I've used it so many times it finally just kind of hardened over. But eventually I figured it out. I had to actually like make a small cut into the bottle, which was interesting, but it was fine. But now, yeah, we're fully glazing our little clay friend here. This is like a remember to love yourself little guy that can just fit in your pocket. I thought that would be really cute, and you know, just sometimes a good self-reminder that people and myself need sometimes. I did this off camera, and I kept getting hair here, but I also off camera did the little details on the koi fish and in the pond on that second piece over there, as you can see. And then obviously doing the spring flower here took a lot of extra glaze because there were so many tiny details that needed to be coated and everything. So we'll go ahead and work on these together. I think now that I'm actually starting to see the effects of spring and the environment around me, there are like little tulips blooming around the house, and things are actually starting to look a little more green. I am definitely more inspired by all the flowers I have seen, and it kind of makes me want to draw like more, scenes with flowers, maybe do like a little sticker sheet that includes some. And yeah, it's kind of wild to me how seeing things in your environment can really inspire you to make so many different things with art. As much as I am a spooky lover and obviously someone who will always love to make ghosts, I love that I can still incorporate it in whatever art that I'm making along with the seasons, or like if I want to go into a bakery theme or things like that. It's just a lot of fun to me. The other unfortunate part of not being able to create as many new things as I've liked to lately, if you haven't noticed, I have obviously been working a lot of hours. It's still my regular hours, but I just feel a lot more exhausted lately, and I actually think it's starting to catch up with me. If you can't tell, I kind of sound a little nasally. I think I'm trying to catch a cold, but also trying not to catch a cold. But yeah, I haven't been as inspired lately to make as much new art as I'd like to, and I've really been missing drawing, and I would like to get into that more consistently. Right now I have actually been working on some of the illustrations for that children's book that I have talked about in a previous video actually, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I've been having fun with it, and it gets me excited for it, but I am also very nervous because I don't primarily draw people very often. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I draw a lot of ghosts. I draw like little spirit characters, things like that. So I am not a very consistent drawer of people. So that has been a little bit of a struggle as I'm trying to, learn how to redraw hands and make sure everything looks proportional. And it's a fun challenge, but also it makes me nervous because obviously I want it to come out in the best way. So between working on that and just being exhausted when I get home, I just have not had a whole lot of time to work on things consistently. Time to make some brownies for Easter though. I was gonna say we already have our brownie mix already. I have got the pan all good to go, and I just gotta pour it in and hope that in 25 minutes it actually comes out to look like brownies and taste like them too. So I will find out and let you guys know. But I think I needed maybe just kind of that week away because I'm feeling more inspired and I am wanting to make a lot of new things. So that's part of what this video will be about as well, obviously. We're working on a lot of new clay projects and some designs at the end. I have been drawing some different things in my sketchbook, and obviously I want to be representative of what I'm feeling as well. So if you don't follow my Instagram, I have been trying to post some little things here and there, like just little self-reminders, like you are loved, always in bloom, you're always growing, always learning, things like that. And it's a good reminder for me to, even if I need to take a break or figure things out and take my time, it's never a bad thing. I can always come back to it. Obviously you need to rest and take care of yourself too in order to keep creating, doing the things you love. So nothing ever wrong with that. One of the first things that I have been thinking about designing, along with the little ghost keychains and like little skulls that I have made before, I thought it would be really fun to make my little ghost cat Midnight in the form of a little keychain here. So that's actually what I'm working on right now. Again, I've actually done one black cat before in a previous video, and for a very fun it was like a little fortune teller scene, and I had a lot of fun with that. But this is the first time I'm actually making one that's, a little bit more upright. You can kind of see, her paws and everything like that. So that is what I'm currently working on here. And of course, she is made out of my familiar glow-in-the-dark clay. So obviously when you do have it out in the sunlight or under a light, and then you bring it into a darker space, it will glow in the dark. So I just love these little fun details. And here I am actually working on creating the paws, so I kind of wanted that little drooping effect, so they're kind of, hanging over. It reminds you of a cat, but also a little bit of a ghost where it's kind of floating around. But I decided that they were just a little bit too long, so I ended up changing them out and making them a little bit smaller, but that's okay, that's part of the process. So yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit here. And then now I am actually working on adding the face. Originally, I thought that I could do kind of a similar idea where it would be almost like a crooked smile type of thing. Probably some of the scenes that you've noticed from Midnight, or if you've seen the keychain, then obviously you kind of probably know what I'm talking about. However, I decided that I just wasn't a really big fan of it, so I ended up going with just a smaller mouth design, and I think it worked out really well. And now we are actually adding the eye ring. I always forget the name of this. We're actually adding that to the middle, so that way when it'll bake in the oven with that in, and then once we take it out and everything's been obviously hardened, then we can actually attach the regular key ring. So it'll make it a fun little keychain. And I have also been missing, I immediately sold my little baguette ghost when I was at my last convention, so I was so sad that I couldn't make another one right away to put up on the shop. So I was finally I need to make one. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So we'll go ahead and make that together here as well. I really love using this brush though to actually get the effect that it looks like bread. I think that's so cool that you can find all these little different details and textures and things that you can add to your clay pieces to really make it a little more lifelike. So we do that a little bit here until it is time to add our little divots with one of my sharper tools, and it kind of gives it more of that baguette feel. So I finally start to work on my little ghost here, and originally, I thought that I wanted to make the design similar to what I first did, where the ghost is actually holding the baguette above its head, and it's like, I'm so proud, I finally have a baguette type of thing. That was at least the thought process behind, making that scene. My head is kind of a weird place sometimes, guys, I apologize, but in the end, I ended up deciding that I didn't like that this much this time. I don't know if it was because I just added too much to the arms, and I'm like, that doesn't really look quite the way that I want. So I ended up going back and changing it, so I made the ghost a little bit taller and a little bit wider in the back so it could stand up more properly, so that way it could hold the baguette in front of it. And I honestly think that I like that a lot better. it's something new, so hopefully you guys like it as well, and we'll kind of see how that process goes here. And here's how they are looking now. Again, I think that these are all really cute, and I'm super happy with how they came out, so look forward to how they look when they're baked and glazed. That is actually all for today, friends. I hope that you have enjoyed my sharing of my stories, as well as hopefully making all these new little clay characters and drawings. So obviously we're always going to go through our ups and downs, you know, but trying to find our rhythm back and creating hopefully the things that we love is always part of the journey. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you'd like to see more like it, feel free to subscribe. Maybe leave a like or a comment too if you're interested. And until the next one, I hope you all have a wonderful day.